If you received a shiny new Xbox console this year, here is exactly what you should do next. After you say thanks, obviously. Now, unless something's gone seriously wrong, your Xbox box will contain an Xbox console, plus an ultra high-speed HDMI cable, a power cable, and an Xbox wireless controller. So your first job is figuring out where the console itself should go. Now, the Xbox Series X and S consoles can both be sat vertically or horizontally, depending on what fits your setup better. Just make sure to leave a little room around the vents so that the vents can do their job and keep things nice and cool. And it's also worth considering whether you're going to be connecting your console to the internet wirelessly or using an Ethernet cable which plugs straight into the back of the console alongside the power cable. Now, if your Wi-Fi isn't the best and you are planning on doing some online gaming, a wired connection will always be my preference. But even if you do plan on going the wireless route, a lovely little life hack can be to plug an Ethernet cable in at first, so you can do all your initial downloading as quickly as possible, and then you can swap to wireless for gaming. Now, let's move on to the other cable, which is now sitting all by its lonesome in your box. It's your ultra high-speed HDMI cable. Now, the Xbox Series S comes with an HDMI 2.0 cable, which can still get a really tasty 4K signal, while the Xbox Series X comes with an HDMI 2.1. And popping them into a port of the same specs will help you get the very best visual quality out of your new console, i.e. if you want to do some 4K 120fps gaming on Xbox Series X. So it's worth checking your TV or your monitor to see what kind of ports it has, but we are talking here about the highest level of optimization, so nothing terrible will happen if you jam a 2.0 cable into a 2.1 port. Your games will look absolutely fun. Batteries not included is one of the most cursed phrases in the English language. I mean, it's up there with no offense, but, and gravel flavored. But fortunately, it does not apply here, since the wireless controller in your box also comes with a shiny new pair of AA batteries. To make things even easier, it also comes automatically paired with the console itself. Although, if you ever do need to pair a new one, it's a simple matter of holding down the pair button on the console and the controller just for a few seconds. And if you've got said controller paired to multiple devices, like your console and your PC, or your console and your mobile, for example, you can actually switch between the most recent ones just by double tapping that same button. So with that, your Xbox box is now empty and ready for recycling. Recycle it, you don't need to keep the box, mate. But your Xbox is now ready to get powered on. You're going to be greeted by a screen prompting you to download the Xbox app on your phone, which is totally free, and it honestly makes the whole rest of the setup process just beautifully easy. Also new for this year, it now has all your Game Pass stuff in it too, so the app really is better than ever. But anyway, download it, open it up, and then hit Set Up a Console, fire in the code that your TV screen displayed before, and the app is going to take you through all the basic setup options like language settings and getting you connected to the internet. While we're doing all of that, it's going to handily do the updates for us, so we don't have to worry about it. So that's pretty good. The rest of it, though, you can continue on your phone, so pay attention to everything you're seeing. First one we're seeing is an option for turning on remote features, which I'm going to say yes to because I want to use that to stream from it later. More on that in a bit. Automatic updates, definitely want those. Now it's going to apply a few settings while it just gets the console ready for the next bit. So relax, make a tea or whatever you want. While you're brewing that tea, your TV or your Xbox might have flickered on and off a little bit. That's totally normal, so don't worry about it. Eventually though, you should get to a screen that looks like this, telling you the update's complete. You can continue the setup in the mobile app. If you happen to lose connection during that, you can just re-enter that PIN and it will get you connected back up again to your console. Here's something to bear in mind. If you're going to be moving your console around a lot, and I mean traveling with it, not like using it as an action figure, then you'll be delighted to know that modern Xbox consoles can actually store up to 10 Wi-Fi connections. So you have to re-enter those details every time you reconnect. Smart. Plus, I'm rubbish at remembering passwords. Now it's time to furnish your console with an Xbox account. And if you've just upgraded from another Xbox console, or maybe you've migrated over from the Xbox on PC world, you already have an account that you can just sign in from. So just whack in those details and you're good to go. And if not, the process of setting up a shiny new Xbox account is dead quick and dead easy. You don't need me for that. Just don't pick an embarrassing email address like some people on the team. Now, you're also going to be asked if you'd like to make this your home Xbox. And this isn't some great philosophical question about what makes a house Xbox feel like a home Xbox. It just allows anyone that's signed in on your console to use all your games and even your Game Pass subscription, even if they're using their own profile. Plus, it also lets you access all your digital content while you're offline. With all that sorted, you'll be prompted to download some updates just to get your console all up to date. It shouldn't take too long, but if your Wi-Fi is feeling a little sluggish, remember that Ethernet cable trick we talked about earlier? Just find a long one. I'm sure you can. Once you're signed in, and if you're a parent or just have younger gamers in your household, you will be prompted to add family members to the console. So this may come up with a list of people that you've already created, or this gives you an opportunity to add those people in now. I'd recommend doing it because it lets you apply things like spending limits to people, or even control the rating of games that they're able to play, as well as social controls like allowing them to join parties or play online with their friends. So get them added if you need to. Time for me to add a name for my console. I normally give him a name like Philip Lindstrom, but I think that's taken at the moment. So let's just go with the Studio Xbox, because we're in the Xbox on Studio, in case you didn't notice. On the next step of the setup process, you'll also get prompted to download some popular apps. So I'm going to select all the ones that I tend to use pretty much every day and get those installed right now so that they're ready for me instantly. If you already owned the same generation of console and this just happens to be a backup or a second place that you're setting one up, you might get asked if you'd like to copy the settings from that other console, but let's just assume that you're setting up a brand new console for the first time and go from there. Now we get to open up the settings menu over on the Xbox itself. We're going to head into the TV and display options, where you can see exactly what your hardware can do. And while the console will probably do a pretty good job of automatically setting itself based on that information, there are still plenty of settings that you can tinker with. Why don't we take a look at resolution and refresh rate first? And if these aren't set to unleash your screen's full potential, just ramp them up and enjoy an even smoother picture. So I'm going to select 120 Hz. Bang. In video fidelity and overscan, you can set your color depth, which is the number of bits used per pixel to represent a color, if you were wondering. You can set it to 10-bit if you're rocking a monitor that supports it and you've got an HDMI connection on the go. Otherwise, you're better leaving it at 8-bit. I'd also say check the color space. If you're on a TV, leave it on standard. If you're on a monitor, change it to PC RGB. Thank me later. Similarly, switching over from standard to PC RGB in the color space menu is going to provide you with a wider color range, but you do need a monitor that supports the 0 to 255 RGB range to take advantage of it. Otherwise, standard will do just fine. And if you're not exactly sure what your hardware can do, you could just opt for some good old-fashioned trial and error, or you could use the Calibrate TV and Calibrate HDR for games buttons and just let the Xbox do the work for you. You're cool, mate. On the audio side of things, you similarly have to think about what hardware you're using. I mean, is the sound going to be coming straight out of your TV speakers, or will we be getting a headset or a soundbar involved? Or maybe just a can on the end of a bit of string. Wouldn't recommend it though. Now, the general portion of the Xbox Settings app will provide you with a volume and audio output menu where you can do some more tinkering. If you're just using your TV speakers, then just leave the speaker audio set to stereo uncompressed. If you've got a sound system that supports a surround sound technology like Dolby Atmos, make sure that you've set that instead. If you're using a headset, you can also enjoy spatial sound courtesy of the console's inbuilt Windows Sonic, or just switch it over to Dolby or DTS or the like if you've got a subscription with them. Either way, you get a fully immersive sound experience that can be delightful or totally horrifying depending on what you're playing. Over in the additional options bit, you'll also find a chat mixer, which you can use to balance the loudness of your friends on chat versus the actual game audio. So if you've still got friends who are yelling, boom, headshot in the brave new year of 2026, it's probably a setting that you're going to want to familiarize yourself with. Also, do better, guys, come on. The other big setting to think about, which you'll also find conveniently located in the general portion of your console settings app, is power options. There are ready-made modes for you to pick. Shutdown completely shuts the console down when you power it off, allowing it to use up to 20 times less power while still getting automatic updates. Although you'll only be able to use remote features while the console is on if you choose this mode. But then there's sleep, which uses more power but lets you use remote features whenever and also benefits from a slightly speedier startup. So the choice here really just depends on what you want to prioritize. Over in customized power options, you can also set the console to turn off automatically after a certain amount of inactive time, which is great if you are the forgetful type. So write that down on your hand or something. Now, a quick click on the store or the Xbox Game Pass tile is going to confirm that your Xbox has all your gaming needs covered and then some. But that's really just a part of what it can do. Although, admittedly, it's a really, really good part. Oh, but just one more quick thing about the gaming side of things. While perusing the store, you can also add games to your wish list with the option to turn on notifications so you will know whenever they go on sale, and then to make the list public so that everyone knows exactly what to get you for your birthday this year. Yeah, no more socks for you, mate. You're welcome. I'll take that back. I like a good pair of socks. What should we wish list? Why don't we wish list? Ooh. Why don't we wish list? Yeah, something like this. EA Sports College Football 26. I think there's an Xbox Bowl in this now. Let's wishlist it. Moving on, you probably also fancy using this TV to stream some movies and shows, right? Excellent. Well, you're going to find that Disney+, Netflix, Apple TV, basically all the big streamers have apps ready and waiting for you. Plus, some options like Spotify and Apple Music for your tunes. So I'd already installed some of these because it asked me to do that in the mobile app setup, but in case you didn't and you want to find them later, they're in the store under apps, entertainment apps. Easy. The Twitch and Discord apps are now also available and fully Xbox integrated, making it super easy for you to watch streamers, like us, on twitch.tv/XboxOn, or stream your own content and chat with all your friends. If you head back into the settings app and into accounts, you're going to see a linked social accounts menu where you can connect your Discord, your Twitch, and any other profiles to your Xbox One just to get everything nice and integrated. I'm already set up though, so there you go. But there's also YouTube, naturally, where you can watch us. And, you know, literally millions of other videos too. But mostly us, right? Now, if like me, you love getting to try out new stuff before anyone else, the Xbox Insider app is a great shout. The Insider program is totally free and it lets you test out new features and even new games ahead of their release, providing the feedback that will shape the future of Xbox. You know, just try not to go mad with power. It does happen and it's never pretty. But what about you guys? What's the first thing you do when you're setting up a new console? And don't say plug it in. Hit the comments, let me know. Bye.